What is up, y'all? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review. Secret Invasion episode 2. I watched it, so hopefully you won't. And I mean that. Hopefully you don't. It's just a waste of time. It's terrible. You could be doing so many other... Like, I forgot to clip my toenails. I could have been doing that while I was watching that. But I was just so mesmerized at the mediocrity. And that's insulting mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? Because you have, like, mediocre pizza, but you still choke the pizza down. Pause. I don't know if that's pause worthy, but I'm saying. You still choke it down. This isn't even edible. This is... I don't... What did we do as... All we did, Marvel, was turn you into one of the biggest things of all time. Probably the biggest movie franchise, hands down, of all time. What did we do to deserve this? At what point were you like, you know what? We hate these people. We hate these people for turning us into billionaires. We have to just totally let them down. We have to stab them in the back. We have to totally... So, episode 2 starts off with a flashback to Captain Marvel. And that should have... I feel like... The only way I can deal with this at this point is, like, I feel like... I hope that there's somebody... That was somebody's warning sign to the few people that actually have any kind of taste that are watching this. Pause. That are just watching it for whatever reason. But just to let you know, somebody there is trying to warn you. Probably not, you know what I'm saying? They put it in there honestly put in a flashback montage of the most hated Marvel movie. Put that in there earnestly. But in my brain, I would like to hope that it was somebody that was like, I'm just going to put this in there and just warn the few people that have a brain to turn back, shut it off, and not watch the rest. But yeah, that's how they start this episode, with a flashback montage from Captain Marvel. But they were at least smart enough to... like, put in scenes of just young Nick Fury and not show Captain Marvel. And I already know that's just because she's not in the show, so they didn't want people to think she was going to be in the episode. But thank you. For whatever reason you did not put her in it, thank you. Because that would have just made this worse. Let's see. I just took a couple notes. So, when this starts off, and this is the only bright part of both episodes so far. There's a scene where, what's his name, Talos? I don't know, the good guy leader of the Skrulls, and Sam Jackson. They're on a train and they're having a talk, and it starts off in Samuel Jackson. You've already seen it. If you haven't, I'm not going to go. But it tells a story about him and Rosie or Susie or something like that. I thought the way that little part was written was good. Just a little story where he said his mom asked the question, yada, yada, yada. I thought that was good. I mean, but that's sad that one little, 15-second part of dialogue, that's like the shining star of so far 2 hours of this garbage. But then, right after that, Samuel Jackson, as they're conversating on a train, he falls into a deep southern plantation accent. And I'm like, what? Did you try to edit some Django Unchained in here? It's just weird. It's just distracting. It takes you out of it. And whoever wrote that scene, you could tell they wanted to have a Tarantino-esque, interesting dialogue back and forth between two people. Guess what? You're not Tarantino. And this sure as hell ain't a Tarantino movie. So I don't care how witty or how interesting you want the dialogue to be. It's still set in the current MCU with characters we currently do not care about, in a story and a show that is absolute dumpster juice. But that just a little story that he told about him and his mom talk, whatever, I thought that was good. I mean, you can't just, and that's the problem I have with a lot of these people that review stuff. I mean, I'm pretty much trashing the show. But you won't hear them say, and you know who I'm talking about, the usual suspects. Everything Marvel's garbage, Marvel's dead, Star Wars is dead, blah, blah, blah. They won't give any credit to any of that. And that's why those people have as much credibility as the other side. We need to start having people that, if you deserve a pat on the back, you get a pat on the back. If you deserve to get trashed, you deserve to get trashed. But just be honest the whole time. Don't just stick to your narrative and, force a square peg into a round hole. Pause. That was real pause worthy. I apologize. It is that month though, right? We're celebrating that this month. Okay, so okay, Maria Hill's mom. Is that her mom? Very strong in the face. I didn't Google who this actress was. But, you know, the way things are going, especially with Marvel, I wouldn't be surprised, you know? And it's just, you try to have a scene that has some gravity to it, some weight, and you're just so distracted by this woman's manly face and just confusion of what is going on there, whether it's pre-op, post-op, or whatever, that the scene doesn't even matter. It's just too distracting. You know what I'm saying? And I just, why? Whoever did the casting for this show picked the least attractive people, the ugliest people, but like ugly to where you squint your eyes and you can't turn away like it's a car wreck. You're just like, what? Who? They get hired for acting jobs? How? What? They could play like a burn victim or I don't know. Like, but yeah, Maria Hill's mom, good Lord. Woo. Yeesh. If that's a woman, God bless the poor man that's married to that thing. Because, wow, he's really looking beyond, you know, physical attraction at that point. I mean, that's what he's into. You know, hey, whatever floats your boat. I mean, there's some people that like going to donkey shows. There's some people that like getting pooped on. So anyways, the lead villain, and I talked about it in the last review, just why, and I just mentioned it, these just incredibly, uniquely ugly people. Just, and you know, they say don't judge, and I say shut up. I will judge. I point, I make fun. Deal with it. But that guy, man. So there's a scene where he pulls off, whoever saw this also loved the scene of Deacon Frost in the first Blade where he goes in front of the Vampire Council and straight up just disrespects him. They ripped that scene off in this, if you've seen it, to where this ugly fake Drake weirdo with the bucky teeth, the crazy eyebrows, and the messed up hairline, and the 10-gallon gigantic head too big for his body goes in and he talks to like the Council of the Skrulls, and he's basically just he's thinking he's just so bad. And that's even more cringy, is when somebody who just thinks they're just cool or a badass or something like that, and they just have no clue, and they're just riding into the wheels fall off. Pause. And he's doing it with this. He's like chewing the scenery without chewing the scenery. And it's just, you're just like, just stop for your own good. Like, please, God, for God's sake. And the whole thing is, I can guarantee after they said cut with those scenes, I bet like everybody applauded on set. It was like, you just did so great. No, dude. But he's just sitting there trying to be super cool, just looking mad, awkward, strange looking dude. I don't know how that dude gets acting jobs. The standard of what they require in England is very, very, very low. That's why we hire all the Australians. We let the Australians take most of the jobs. You know what I'm saying? The British people, we save the ugly people, awkward roles for them. You know what I'm saying? We give all the cool roles to foreign people. We give those to Australians. All right. Well, except for the black British actors, except for this, I don't know what this dude is. I don't even consider him black. This dude is some weird, I don't know, but he is just the weirdest, ugliest dude I've seen in a long time, and is a terrible choice for the lead villain. But he's doing this thing throughout the scene. Look at it. Like he's got something stuck in his mouth. It's almost like he has Tourette's syndrome or Parkinson's, and it's just starting to kick in at this point in his life. And he just can't stop. It's like he has a hair in his mouth or something. You'll see it if you just want to torture yourself and watch this episode just to see what I'm talking about, just to see what absolute trash looks like. Yeah, watch this. But he keeps doing this thing while they're having the meeting with his mouth. Like he has something stuck in his mouth. And then when everybody stands up to like bow to his dominance, look at him. He starts doing this thing with his lips. Like he's making like kissy faces. It's the weirdest thing. Like I said, it looks like he has Tourette's or something. But it's dumb because the other scenes from that point on, he's not doing that. So he's doing that as an acting choice. He sat there and was like, you know what would add more to my character non-verbally? Is if I act like I have a pubic hair stuck in my mouth. That would add so much to it's. And you gotta blame the director for these things. You have to blame him. I don't know who did it, but they're terrible. But this, I'm trying to think about anything notable for the rest of the episode. It's just more garbage. Khaleesi continues to get uglier with every episode. I don't know what happened. Do you remember when we used to like seeing her nude in what was it? Game of Thrones? Do you remember that? That was it. Look, it's downhill from here. We're not getting that anymore. Those days of Khaleesi are over with, guys. She's dead. Rest in peace. Secret Invasion episode 2. Wow. Why? Why does this even exist?